So thank you for joining. I'm so excited, Igarashi. I'm not going to try and pronounce your surname, so please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Igarashi Harumi. I am a content creator, a journalist. Yeah, and I'm really happy to be here.
And you're in Cape Town.
Yes.
Which is really what motivated me. So you're the first Cape Town office member from Taiwan.
Yay!
I know, right? I mean, that is saying something. I've been open for, this year is 2011, so that's 15 years. Which is a long time. And yeah, you're the first person from Taiwan. So
Amazing.
hi.
Yes, amazing. I feel like I'm the first person for a lot of people in South Africa because
Yeah.
Taiwanese there are not a lot of big population here.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
So I suppose the sensible place to start is, what brought you to Cape Town? How did you get here? What happened? How?
This goes back to probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I went to an international school in Taiwan for my university, and I was very fortunate enough to meet all the diplomatic relationships countries people that, because Taiwan, we don't have a lot of diplomatic relationship with a lot of countries. We have around 13 to 15 back in the days, probably now it's 10, 11, I'm not sure. Official to recognize Taiwan as Republic of China. So Swaziland was one of it, and like some Latin America, Central American countries. So I used to hang out with them a lot. Like my whole 4 years was with them.
This is in Taiwan at the international school.
Yes.
Right.
And I met two of my really close friends from Swaziland, and they introduced me to other South Africans as well. And like they told me I should go to Cape Town. And then I was like, what? Going to Africa, guys? And then they were like, yes, you love film. And then Cape Town is the huge film industry. You're going to study there. You're going to live the best life. And then I was like, okay, that planted a seed in my head. And then I found a master's degree program from Europe. It's a Erasmus Mundus joint master's degree. So it happened to have the collaboration with UCT in Denmark. Like I don't even know where to start. Basically, the whole joint master's degree is designed for you to stay in 2 or 3 or even 4 countries within 2 years of master's degree.
Amazing.
So the second semester, they have a study abroad opportunity that you can choose one of the sisters university to go study. And then I applied for UCT film school, and then I got it.
Amazing.
And I came here like 3 years ago, 2022, for 6 months, and I love it. I knew I want to buy property here. I want to build a life here. I know this is my life. This is my island girl life. Yeah.
Oh man. So, and that was pretty much instant for you from like the get-go. You felt very comfortable. So you had to go to campus, obviously. Yeah. Where is the film school? Because I know it's upper campus, middle campus.
So I was in the upper, like by Sarah Botman Hall.
Okay, I know where you are. Amazing. So that's what led you. Okay, and so that's 3 years ago. And so now you split your time between Taiwan and Cape Town, right?
Yeah.
So what's the split? How many months?
Definitely 6 months in Cape Town. So I come here in the end of October, and then I go home in the end of April.
Sensible.
Last year I went to Greece, Spain, like just go back to visit my friends, because I used to live there for 2 years in Europe. So I have friends there, and I don't want to stay the whole summer in Taiwan. It's too humid.
Okay.
So I split my time, the humid parts in Europe, and then I come back to Taiwan when I need to prepare my departure again for Cape Town.
Yes. And expensive? How expensive is Taiwan in relation to
Cape Town?
Yeah.
I would say I spend more or less similar money, because, well, when I'm in Cape Town, I don't have to this is so like raw, but like in Taiwan, I have to do Botox, I have to do facials, I have to do like.
Listen, we can go as deep as you want to go, or we can stay as superficial as you want to be. There's no,
I'm just
script.
I'm just sharing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and
okay, so the beautifying of daily life in Taiwan is a lot less natural than it is. Although, facials are natural too. I shouldn't say it's not natural.
And I spend a lot on massage as well, but like in Taiwan, I don't pay rent. So here I have to, sort of finance myself a bit.
Got you.
Yeah.
And rent is not cheap in Cape Town, as we know.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you've got a pretty nice view. I'm not going to tell people where you live because you never, we're not going to do that.
Yes.
But you do live in a very nice place with a nice
Very
view. So,
beautiful.
worth
Very
it.
beautiful.
Waking up in the morning. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty, like, very European, actually, is traveling summer, and then heading back to a few months of Europe in the summer.
Yeah.
So when you eventually get back to Taiwan, it's what, like August? No, September, October? No, because then you're only like 2-3 months a year.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to plan my life for this year. Yeah.
Planning, don't forget. Okay, so I did a little bit of scratching around on your LinkedIn. I didn't dive too deep because I wanted to save a lot of it for this. And I was really surprised about the journalism thing. So you studied to be a journalist first, or you just went straight in Taiwan? Where does the journalism thing fit in?
Yeah, I did study journalism and mass communication for my bachelor degree.
Amazing.
And I didn't want to be a journalist. I don't really consider myself a journalist, but I guess I am. Like, what I'm doing is...
Well, you worked as a journalist, right? So
Yeah.
and for a political publication, was that an online publication or?
So it's a TV show.
Okay.
And I was the associate producer for the show.
Wow.
Yeah. And like the more journalism, everything is related to journalism.
Okay. Yeah. I get that. So the research part, you would have a team, right?
Yeah, we have a team, and then usually I am the one who does the foreign international affairs research because that's where my strengths are at.
Right.
Yeah, and the local political things I just assist, and I edit the videos, I find sources, stuff like that.
But that's quite a career thing, right? That's quite a... So how long were you there for? How long did you do that work for?
So I split my whole 4 years in my bachelor to different media field. So I started as a social media editor.
Yep.
All in
I read
the TV.
That something like 1 million followers. Something, a huge number of... that was a big thing, right?
The political program, it was definitely the biggest. If you ask any Taiwanese, they would know that TV show. Yeah, I was very lucky to be part of that. And I spent some time doing documentaries. We were doing a lot of collaboration with government, shooting some post-Japanese colonial architectures, how we are maintaining, how we're reserving the architecture, and how to remade, like remodule it, something like that. And then I spent some time in startup as well. And the last year I just spent the year in the political program specifically.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And then that's what gave you the work experience, but also the sort of day-to-day. And that's also what told you don't want to be a journalist.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've always known that I don't want to be a journalist.
Okay.
But it was actually the master's degree itself, being able to be in 3 different countries.
Yeah.
And 3 different countries that are not the most commonly, the destination. People don't go to Denmark to study, or like come to Cape Town, or go to Czech Republic.
Yeah.
They would rather choose Western education.
Okay.
Like the American system, the
British.
Canadian, exactly. And then I was like, I don't want to be the same over there. Like, I want to be in a new environment where I can learn from something else. Because if everyone is going to Stanford, Harvard, or whatever university you're in the United States, and as an Asian person, I know there's it's very competitive. Like, I don't want to put myself in that competitive area. Like, if I were to find my advantage, I need to use that advantage as an Asian person, and I find that in Cape Town.
Yeah. And with a healthy mix of creativity thrown in and space to kind of let it marinate and become the thing that it needs to become. I find that in those kinds of circles, the Ivy League sort of thing, it's very much, you're already thinking 5 years ahead. You're already kind of crying over the interview that you didn't get, or the phone, and that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But even journalism as a whole, we were just mentioning before this, tough gig. There've been a few journalists, freelance journalists, and I use the inverted commas. Video doesn't work for this recording, because And I didn't know this, right? Like, I'm an avid reader of The Guardian. I'm an avid reader. I read quite wide. I mean, I even watch Fox News, right? So, but I didn't realize how it actually worked on a mechanical basis until I met a journalist who writes for both. She writes for The Guardian. She writes also sometimes for The Times, Financial Times. She writes for, and the system is so crazy. She has to, out of her own pocket, go and research and, fund all of this in the hope that the editor goes, yeah, that's great, let's run with that. And only then does she get sort of any remuneration, for it. And that's a crazy risk.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's why I'm not designed for that route.
No.
Yeah.
And it's also quite brutal, I think, in terms of, especially in the political sphere. Yeah, it's a vocation. I don't think it's something that you choose as a career. It's
No.
either you do it because you can't do anything else, I think, or yeah, or
Like
not.
I admire a lot of my colleagues, because now that I have probably, I don't know, probably 200 colleagues who are journalists,
Yeah.
they're still, most of them, I would say like half of them are still in the journalism world. They're still trying to pursue journalism. They want to make an impact and all that. Like, I respect that so much, because I really cannot do that anymore. I cannot live under other people's opinions. I cannot live under, policies that I can never change. I cannot care more about what's going to happen between Taiwan, China, and the United States, because that was what I used to report.
Welcome to our world, by the way. Yeah, it's hard. It's really, really hard. In fact, okay, so this little podcast studio came about because just before COVID, the year before COVID, 6 months or so. So it must have been, it was latter part of 2019, I would say. A German chap walked into Cape Town office to join, Egon Hauswich, big shout out, Egon. And he is a prolific podcaster, political commentator, travels around Europe all the time. And he pointed something out which I hadn't considered before, which is that if you, in this country anyway, at the time, it's changed a little bit now, but at the time, if you go to any of the talk radio platforms, 702, Cape Talk, and I'm big fans of those, don't get me wrong, but there's a very definite bias that appears in the narrative and in the screening of the narrative. And so in our very small co-working community way, our vision was to create an environment and a space so that people from all spheres, particularly academia, could come in and express themselves and really be free to voice whatever and to put it out there, right? And so here we are. So it's a super fun project. I think just we still battle on a daily, only now we battle with algorithms.
Yep.
Because otherwise it's just an echo chamber, right?
Yep. Algorithm. Very fun.
Yeah. So speaking of algorithm, nice little segue. So you've gone from journalism into, and I'm going to let you.
Yeah, I haven't been on this journey for long enough. It's only almost been 1 year.
Wow, that's brand new.
Yeah, I started last March.
So you've labeled yourself, you introduced yourself initially as a content creator.
Yes.
And by the way, I'll drop all the links to your Insta and all those other good things in the description. Talk to me about a content creator. What exactly does that mean?
I think it's there's a broad definition in it. You can be...
For you.
For me, I think just providing value. As long as you're providing value and your value is well received, and you turn that thing, that say service that you're doing, into an income, into a digital product, or into a workshop, or whatever that is, building a community, then you become a content creator. And I feel like a lot of people want to avoid being a content creator. I used to be like that as well, because I feel like being a content creator is just like another way of being
so millennial.
Yes, being an influencer. I'm like, I'm not this type of person. Like, I wasn't even active on social media before I decided to put myself there on social media.
So would you say that you're a storyteller first and a digital content creator second? Because I've had a very shallow dive into your content. You're telling stories.
Yeah, some of the contents that I make, I definitely have to incorporate different ways of storytelling technique to invite people into my life. Yeah.
And so at the moment, what is the narrative? What is the flavor? What is the I mean, obviously you're in Cape Town. So Cape Town must be, is it starring Cape Town pretty much every day, or?
No, actually, I think my audience know that I live in between different countries, but I don't really share about my life. I just in general share the big part of how to edit video, how to storytelling, how to write, how to talk to the camera, these type of more technical things. And then in between I will slide in with a piece of my life. And yeah, and I'm in Cape Town, I'm doing commercial modeling. So that's the information they need to know. Like aside from that part,
Sure.
yeah.
And yeah, because the thing is that what I loved, there was one of your videos that I watched. It was like, you don't need a super fancy $10,000 camera to achieve really good product or really good finish at the end of it. And I really, really love that because it's true. Like, regardless of whether you're here and earning rand or not, and have to kind of compete with the dollar ratio all the time, which is tough. Um, it's true to say. I mean, I saw these kids in Nigeria a few years ago created an entire short film, a sci-fi short film, on a very, very broken laptop and using a very basic smartphone. And honestly, the finished product was pretty damn decent. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think it always go down to how you can express and explore your creativity. Like if you think you need a $10,000 camera, let me really hand in $10,000 camera in front of you and tell me how you're going to do it. Because if you actually do that to me, I'm going to tell you I'm sorry, I cannot do it because I don't even know how to operate that camera.
Right?
I can barely hold that. It's probably huge.
You'd be so nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
Or like just say $5,000 camera. You know, it's already a
it's a
really high
lot of
quality.
money.
Yeah, but you don't need that kind of quality. You can give a photographer an iPhone 6 and he's gonna give you some really epic picture. But if you give an amateur who just think that I need something better, you give him an iPhone 16 or what, 17, he's not gonna give you something, you know.
Yeah, totally. So your training, as it were, both your bachelor's but also your master's, that's really the foundation of all of this, right?
Yeah.
Because there's always, and I suppose for the last few years there's been a raging debate out there as to whether or not you should go to university even. What's your feeling on that for
Yeah.
this field particularly?
In journalism,
Yeah. Well, not journalism but media.
media, I think it's very difficult to say. For me, if you ask me what I have learned in my master's degree, I feel like I learned through living in different countries, talking to different people. Because of that education, I got to
You got to experience all of that,
exactly.
right?
But if you
Yeah.
actually ask me about the education itself, I do have a lot of doubt in whether it's really useful or not. But I would always see this type of thing as, you know, whatever investment you're doing, eventually it's going to come back. Maybe it's not going to come back now because people think that you don't have to go to university. But I have to say, people who actually go to university and actually pay attention to what they're learning have a lot of outcome. And I'm not saying that you need to, you know, drop out or whatever. Like, there's no good or bad. You just need to.
It's whatever you make.
Exactly.
And I think also it's true to say that there's a lot of growing up and formulating and sort of formation of self, and if that's even a thing, that occurs in an environment like a university. I think
Yeah.
that just the sheer exposure and learning how to think, learning how to critically analyze, learning how to adjust, and knowing where. It's a fascinating thing because I mean I grew up in a very Victorian style sort of education system where you have to memorize a lot of shit and then be able to sit in an exam and recall it. And I'm like, what? But whereas now, especially with AI, we're in an age where all I need to know is how to find the information and then apply it, right? And that's an amazing space to be in. But you do need to be able to discern,
Yes.
I suppose, between fact and disinformation and all
Yeah.
those lovely
Just
things.
develop critical thinking as well. Yeah.
So, entrepreneur, I mean, that's you're basically an entrepreneur. You're basically a self-employed, self-motivating. How do you define targets? How do you sort of break up your week or your month? Do you target yourself to put out a certain amount of content every month, or
So I do have a certain target when I first started last year. I just wanted to push my creative muscles into this rhythm of creating. And now, because it's almost been a year, I want to focus on building my community and building my own digital product. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I've launched my digital product last week. It's been very successful.
Oh my God, tell me more. What is it? What?
It's just basically sharing how to build a creative personal brand. Everything from idealization to concept development to how to film yourself, how to script, how to write, how to talk to the camera, to how to edit, bringing your whole visual identity online to make you
Love that.
like a recognizable brand.
Love
Yeah.
that. So you
Yeah.
launched that a week ago?
Yes, I
And
launched that last week.
on your own platform, or is it hosted somewhere?
Yes, it's basically, so there is a creators platform. It's called Stan Store, and it's basically helping creators or business owners who want to initiate their own community, whether it's selling one-on-one coaching service, or you want to do a webinar, or you want to sell your
I
PDF file, those
see.
kind of digital oriented
Yeah, no,
products.
got you. And that platform is the one to go to for
Yes,
that
yes, that's
specific.
what I use.
That's
Yeah.
so exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
And so a weekend, have you seen any traction yet, or is it too soon?
Yeah, so I basically hosted a live workshop, and about 7 or 8 people joined in
Amazing.
that workshop, and I'm just gonna start selling the recordings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Why not?
yeah,
That's so amazing. So again, links and everything will be so that's so cool because the ability to access this kind of thing. What a time to be alive.
yeah,
That's really, really cool.
yeah.
So again, but you didn't come back to my question, which was how do you target yourself? How do you motivate yourself, and where do you, like, in terms of output,
I
in a
think
week,
it's
a day, a week, a month?
I think it just goes down to one sentence that I told myself. I have to do this as if my life depend on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite serious.
So
I didn't know we were going that heavy, but let's go. Let's go. Okay.
yeah. So like literally, even when I'm chilling by the pool or by the beach, I would always bring my notebook. I need to either be reading, or I need to be journaling, or I need to be doing something. Like I cannot be sitting there just, you know, not thinking about things. Maybe like once a week or something.
So your process is very much outputting what you into.
Yeah. So all those things that I've written down, or like all those things that I have read, gathered, whatever, it becomes my creative Pandora box. So whenever I'm lost or I have creative block, I always go back to remind myself, why did I start? Why am I doing this? How am I going to continue? And which video I should shoot next.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I saw you yesterday. You have an actual notebook using an actual pen. In this case, it was my pen yesterday. Did you get yourself a pen?
I did. I did.
Did they have the black downstairs?
Yes. No, they don't have the black, but they have the blue one.
It's such a good pen,
Yeah.
isn't it? It just
Yeah.
feels really good, and it's got the right weight.
Yes.
I know it sounds really weird, and I'm geeking out for
I
just
know,
a second,
right?
but it's really important. A pen, no two pens are the same.
And it's only 20 rand.
It's the best value pen. Again, if you're in the building, outsource downstairs. Oh my God, what a shop! But they have these pens. I was
Yeah.
amazed by that because honestly, you can spend thousands on a bloody pen, and then it's terrible.
Mhm.
That's amazing. So tell me, when you told your parents that you were going into content creation, what was the reaction?
When I told my family, they couldn't understand. Until this day, because recently it's Lunar New Year. So I called all of my family members, and they were like, oh my God, what are you doing in South Africa? Just get a real job in Taiwan, because Taiwan's job market is pretty good. You can get a fair salary. I wouldn't say good, but fair, because I don't.
Yeah, but fair compared to what? What are you comparing it to?
Yeah, in terms of just living, you can, because I don't pay rent. So in Taiwan, I don't pay rent. So the money that I actually get for myself, I can spend on whatever I want. So yeah,
but that's living with family, correct?
No, I live by myself. I have my own apartment.
Amazing.
Yeah. So no, I'm super blessed. Yeah, and my family wouldn't understand, but now they see that the paycheck is coming out, and then yeah, like I have collaborations with Adobe, with CapCut. They're like, okay, so what is the next? What's the next one? And yeah, they started being more acceptable towards what I'm doing. And either way, I don't ask anything from them. So there's no control over what I'm going to do. Like there's only support for what I'm doing. And I understand their worry. Like I wouldn't say they want to stop me, but I understand their concern for worrying about my future.
Of course, and it comes from a place of love.
Yeah.
It's not a vindictive thing, and I think
Yeah.
sometimes it also, because it is a very different world economically speaking to what it was 30, 40 years ago. I often think about the younger millennials or the older, yeah, and the Gen Zs coming in and sort of how they look at the economy compared to how I did or do even still. And there's this interesting kind of, I'm doing it for me because this is the time that I have to do it. Whereas my parents' generation, certainly, and even my generation, when you graduated, uni, you go job, you just commit, you stay loyal,
Yeah.
um, and sadly, you weren't rewarded for that. So, in terms of your collaborations, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
So, in terms of your collaborations with CapCut and all these other things, and the other day you were flashing a very fancy pair of Google glasses. Were they Google or Meta?
Meta.
Meta
Raven.
glasses,
Yeah.
Mareba and Meta. Do they generally approach you, or do you approach them?
Yes, they generally approach me. Super blessed with that because the I mean, just sharing tips here. If you really want to get brand deals, I mean, for being a content creator or influencer or just being online, you really want to monetize yourself. There are multiple ways to do that. One is brand deal, one is selling your product services, and one is that you have a business and then you're utilizing
Right,
social media to boost to make yourself more exposed. And personally, I started without having a product. So I relied on brand deals for the past 6 months, 7 months. And I was very lucky enough to be able to produce organic content. When I say organic content, I mean the content is not sponsored.
right,
It's just purely from sharing my experience of
right.
how I use editing tools, how I navigate through content creation. And then it attracted those brands because they can see themselves in my content.
There's authenticity there,
Yeah.
and it comes across. It really does. There's a lot of people that do this sort of thing out there, right? A lot of noise, I would argue.
Yeah.
So, what comes first, chicken and egg, right? So, what comes first, the followers or the engagement?
It actually doesn't matter. Like, it always goes down to what your goal is.
Right.
Yeah, let's say obviously everyone's goal at first is to have more followers, but let's say if you're a business owner, or let's say one of the clients that I have helped, she's actually an aesthetic doctor here in
Okay.
Cape Town, and she doesn't need a lot of followers.
When you
She,
say aesthetic doctor, is that like
she
a
does
plastic
give,
surgeon?
yeah, no, she's not a surgeon, but she gives Botox,
Ah,
fillers,
okay, got you.
NAD, those kind of
I had
injection
no
stuff.
idea.
Yeah.
There's a lot of acronyms in there. Let's
Yes.
go with that.
So basically, she doesn't really need a lot of followers. She just needs more advertisement, and she needs the right sharing of how she approach as an aesthetic doctor. She doesn't need 30,000 followers. She can have like 1,000 followers and then she make 10,000 a
Well,
month.
even like imagine 1,000 people standing outside your door when you wake up in the morning and waving back at you and going hi. That's a
No.
lot of bloody people, right?
Exactly,
And so
exactly.
now you on a TikTok level and you're like, oh, I only got 3,000 views. And you're like, are you kidding me right now, man? That's a lot.
Exactly. That's what I usually tell my clients when they fall into this low view jail. That's what they call.
Yes.
And then I told them, like, just think about how you're going to make the most out of this 500 people. And I think what makes me, let's say, successful, or what makes this journey more smooth, is because I've always had this idea. I knew 500 people is a lot. If 500 people is in front of me, I cannot speak right now on the stage properly. I need a script.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
And
how
maybe a little whiskey before you do
exactly,
it.
like just look at what you have right now and then focus on what you have. Like right
Right.
now, I can easily tell people that I'm going to do another sprint on my content. I'm going to reach 150K in, let's say, 4 months or something. But I don't want to do that anymore because I want to focus on building my own community.
Got you.
Yeah, I just want to share whatever I can and then make the most out of these 90,000, like 150,000 more across all platforms.
Yeah.
How am I going to monetize with these people? Like, imagine if one person just all these 150,000 people just donate $1 a month, I
You
will have
know,
$150,000 a month.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot. I
yeah,
mean, those are goals.
yeah,
Those are goals, and
yeah.
I did quality over quantity, basically, right? And
Yes.
that was the thing that we all fell into that trap 10, 15 years ago. That and then you start to learn about bot farms, and you start to learn about and you're spending whatever amount of money it is. I love your approach. I love your content. I really,
Thank
really
you.
do. And I
Thank
think
you.
the authenticity, like I said, and the sort of organic nature of how you construct them, I really, really love that.
Thank you.
And it ranks. So yes, follow
Yeah.
her. And
Yeah.
again, I will drop all the links. So how many platforms you're on? Insta?
I'm on Instagram and TikTok. These are my two main platforms. And obviously, this year I've been telling myself to do YouTube. I want to do long form content because
Yeah.
it's more sustainable.
Well, this will be on YouTube at some point.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I've been just trying to see how the social media world work because I was in traditional media for 10 years and I was very drawn to, having all these traditional media success. I wanted to be a producer for international political program for Al Jazeera, for TW News, these kind of things. But then now stepping back and then actually stepping into social media field, I learned how to, you know, just step out of this comfort zone and then think about what other ways to be more sustainable in this era of media.
I mean, it's different, and it's a little bit more. I think the word is crass compared to the polished cable Al Jazeera or even Democracy Now, a sort of platform that we're used to. But that's how it is. Again, with the journalist thing, right? It's like if I ask 10 of my friends how many newspapers they actually pay to subscribe to, how many hands do you think you're going to see? Zero. Nobody subscribes. And so it's not surprising that the revenue has to come from somewhere for those journalists to be paid to be able to research the stories that they bring to you,
Yep.
right? And then that eventually feeds into cable news. And so whether it's CNN or MS Now, I think it's called, or whatever, but certainly in the Trump era, we've seen a lot of very familiar faces resort to either Substack. Substack seems to be the big one at the moment, more so than YouTube,
Yep.
actually. But the YouTube followership is massive, and it's allowed on an interesting level that's just happened a couple of days ago. Stephen Colbert couldn't his parent company, because he's been technically fired. He's finishing soon. His contract is finished, or they're not renewing his contract, and this caused great controversy at the time. He was interviewing a candidate in the running for some seat in Texas right now. And the parent company, CBS, it came down from the legal department. No, you cannot interview him on the cable network, but you can interview him on YouTube. And so that's what they did.
Yep.
So it's a really fascinating thing. It's like the 60 Minutes. I think it was inside one of the detention centers of 60 Minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And again, it was like you can't host it on CBS, but guess what? 20 minutes later, it's on YouTube.
Yep.
And we saw it with the Super Bowl. It's the
Yep.
same thing. It's like
Yeah.
YouTube is where I certainly consume most of my content.
Yeah, same. Like I'm a huge YouTube fan. Like I consume all of my knowledge on YouTube.
Right?
Yes.
And I find it refreshing in terms of both for travel.
Intellectual.
Right?
Anything. You can find anything on YouTube. YouTube is my new professor for real.
Yeah. It's in a similar way to AI. I would love for them just to label it
Yeah.
unverified,
Yes.
but interesting
Yes.
and entertaining anyway.
Yes. I think also AI is a very new industry in the creative world. A lot of people are debating, whether AI should be in the creative, like even the Adobe collaboration that I have with them. They're always trying to focus on, whether AI is actually helping us or not. And I feel like in this AI era, such a big AI era, we just need to adapt and we need to live with it because AI is going to still be there.
Yeah.
And how can you utilize AI? Like one of the things that I want to keep exploring is I want to start using AI to make short film.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to utilize, whatever my imagination is in my head to maybe make a small like 30 seconds short film, horror short film, something like that. Yeah, I feel like AI has a lot of potential in creative industry, but also people can exploit it.
They can. Full circle back to Denmark. Um, Denmark last year, I think it was in June or July, encouraged all of its citizens to trademark themselves and their voice. So their face as well as their voice. And
Very socialist of them.
It is, but at the same time, you could argue. I mean, there is a flip side to the metaverse, and to all of these social media. They've made an awful lot of money off our content.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, I'm not saying 50-50 and share it all alike, but there is a measure to sort of, if you're going to use that, at least there should be some reciprocation.
Yeah.
I have a tremendous love-hate, more love than hate, or fear, more than hate, fear, I think, of AI. It's a fantastic thing for someone with a small business like me. My God, like the amount of things I can do now without too much investment.
How did you incorporate AI in your business?
So at the moment, a couple of things. So I'm using it a lot for ideation, and I flick between Claude and I flick between ChatGPT just to sort of do a sanity check. If I'm going to do this, what do you think the consequences are? In terms of this podcast right now, I'm making use of some tools to help me refine, speed up. And I did not study editing. I have no idea how to edit, but because I do a lot of music, sort of small DJ stuff that I post, I've had to learn, but it takes a long time. So I use it a lot for that. You can ask me
next time.
Thank you. I will do. Careful now. I might take you up on that.
Well, I might. Well, also,
yes, no. Please. No. So the studio is here for all members to use. It's included in all memberships.
Yeah.
Available 24 hours, so you can go for it. My dream one day when I grow up is to have a sort of a co-working radio station.
Wow.
Where I could just play vinyl. And we'll do a little bit of talk in between, and then just play more records.
You should do this on YouTube.
I'm quite excited as a video format, and I'll put this on YouTube and see what happens. The audio format didn't do too badly in terms of these podcasts, and I like this idea of a lot in terms of giving people. I think people have a real perception in terms of what happens in co-working spaces and the kind of people that work there, and so this is a means to sort of demystify that a little bit, but also we're just regular people.
I actually don't know what are the demon thing that people think about co-working space.
I think for older people, when I say older people, I'm talking about Gen Xers like me, there's a perception that they might be too old in a sense. And also this stereotypical idea that everybody's on rollerblades and I don't know,
we have Pete.
Yeah, right?
He's so cool.
Dude, and he surfs like 3 times a week, and he's amazing. Yeah. He's been here for years. And so it's to blow that kind of thing that it's all tech and startup and Google culture, and no offense, Google, love you. But it's, and co-working is actually not that.
No. Yeah, I'm actually pretty blessed to found this place for real. Like Johan.
Thanks, Johan. Big shots though, man.
So happy that he introduced me here, because the complex that I was living in, I mean, I'm still living there. They're always constantly having constructions.
I know.
Stuff like that going on. Wind.
Yeah, the wind.
The list goes
Welcome
on.
to Cape Town.
The list goes on.
But also the social engagement, right?
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's a very eye-opening experience to be able to connect with founders, and, being in this environment, it just tells me that, no, you need to work more. And then Zach just told me that you're a workaholic, hey? And then I'm like, me? Workaholic? I don't know. Maybe I'm just aged.
Speaking of stereotypes, that's so funny. I think, yeah. So, oh my God, is this your first co-working?
Yes.
Ever?
Yes. I don't go to
I'm
co-working
so honored.
space.
Thank you.
No, I'm really happy. Like, I don't go to co-working space in Taiwan. I've been to 1 or 2 before just to meet people.
Sure.
Like, I used to work for someone that works in the co-working space, so that's why I went there. But I knew it was not my vibe. But then when Johan told me, he was like, yeah, it's amazing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. Because you said so.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't disappoint.
Yes.
In reality, that's exactly why I created Cape Town office. I'd been out of the country for a very long time, and even though I was born here and I'm from here, it was a means for me to reconnect with people And in terms of what do you do for a hustle? I've always worked for myself, right? So like, it's sort of like, what are you doing and what are you up to? And if there's one of me, there must be more, and it can get very lonely out there.
Very lonely.
And that sort of tunnel vision isolation chamber of your bedroom, kitchen table, whatever it is. And I don't care how nice you've made it, nothing is as good as being in a social environment.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a very lovely place. Like, I feel like people are super warm here and they really take good care of each other. Super socializing as well. Like, just it's an amazing place.
It's a nice sort of balance between as much as you want and as much as you're comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and that is the stereotype. It's the ping pong table.
Yeah.
It's the,
can we have a ping pong table?
Only if we can figure out a way, me too, but only if we can figure out a way of creating a silent disco environment around a ping pong table.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I've had people, because there was a co-working space, they're not around anymore. 3 or 4 members from that one co-working space take membership here. It's quite a few years ago, because of the ping pong table. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's like the idea of it is great, but like, no, we need to silent disco that shit.
Yeah, I get you. No, I don't know how, but
maybe we play Wii instead on the big screen.
No, but also I have to compliment that you have such a good music taste.
Thank you.
Like, for real. I'm like, Lizelle listens to this?
Yes, she does.
Yes.
I actually did that little Spotify. Did you do the Spotify Wrapped?
No, I didn't.
It's so funny. So Spotify every year does like a Spotify Wrapped, and it's like however many hours of music. And and then this year it added the thing of your listening age is whatever
28?
it is. Yeah, 24 actually.
For real?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're young at heart.
Wow.
I love that. The FKJs,
Wow.
all the nice, beats that you're sharing.
A little bit of Amapiano every now and again, a little Afro house.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And then plenty of golden oldies going on too.
Yeah, nice Latino music, a lot of Cuba, a lot of like El Salvadorian, like Central American music.
It's good,
so
right?
So nice.
It's rhythms. Thank you, Igarashi. This has been amazing.
Thank you, Lizelle.
And then, yes, we'll reserve more for part 2. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to drop tons and tons of links in the description and all your socials and everything else. So look her up, give her a follow.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening.